Welcome back to another episode of CANESCAST, everybody. I am your host, Garrett Halsey here, and we have a good show in store for you today. We are going to review the Miami Bowl game against Rutgers. Unfortunately, Miami did not come out victorious, but some things did happen that were, positive. Never happy for a loss, but you can always say that there's something to be taken out of every game. So. Also, we will review. I waited to film this show this week till after the ESPN Under Armour All-America game, a game that puts lots of the incoming freshmen against each other in two teams to see how will college football look in the next couple of years. And then a lot of times, heck, these guys end up in the NFL and then end up on Pro Bowl teams. So, what is going to be the Pro Bowl team in the next decade to come, right? First off, I want to start off the show with touching on last week's episode has brought our channel the greatest deal of success we've had in our short history. But I want to thank everybody who either tuned in, subscribed from the last episode, and maybe welcome back, or those of you who have been with us for a long time. Thank you so much for whatever you're doing, guys, because that content was by far and away our greatest support that we've had in this channel. So I want to give a particular shout out to South Coast Kane, one of our viewers that's tuned in a lot of different weeks here in a row and takes the time to comment on the last several of those videos. So I wanted to give you a personal shout out. Thank you, South Coast Kane. And he does have content. Please, if you like and support this channel, do something for our great fan there and check out his content too. So again, very, very much appreciative of you each and every week. Putting those comments on those videos, man. So appreciate you. And with that said, talk about Miami's game against Rutgers. Go back in history, Miami had beaten Rutgers every single time they had ever faced off as a program. So back to the Big East years, they were 11-0 against Rutgers, and Rutgers finally gets off the mat and beats the Miami Hurricanes in the Yankee Stadium at the Bad Boy Mowers Pinstripe Bowl this year in 2023. Not great. You don't like to say Miami losing is ever, for me, a good thing. But what did I love? As you can see, the guy behind me here is what I will take big from that game. Big credit to him in that game because one, he could have very well have left and hit the portal and gone on to seek an opportunity because I'm sure he would have been given an opportunity at all the program. But sticking with Miami. And as the filming of this show has said that he will be back in 24 to 24. So if you ever get a whiff of this channel, buddy, thank you so much for sticking with us and playing in that game and then giving us another chance to see what you're capable of next year. So Jakari Brown, let's talk about the game. So it started off not great. Rutgers got the ball to start the game, bled half the quarter off to have the long touchdown drive. Miami not crisp on offense. I did say number 11 threw a beautiful deep pass in that first possession, first play of the game. I like that call. You gotta say you'd love to see somebody on the receiving end come down with that pass and make this game who knows what. But hey, here's 2020 hindsight always, right? But no, I liked his part of that film is it was smooth, a nice beautiful tightrope spiral, 50 yards in the air or so. And I love that he's shown the progress and his real, he does have passing ability and he showed that much deeper in the game. So love the way they started. I did not love that the defense struggled with physicality in the defensive side. It was hard to get that their running back on the ground. He was breaking tackles left and right, went for a very nice day on the ground. But they did recover. They were maybe smashed off a little bit off the bat, but they did make some adjustments. Got to give our guy Guidry, if he sticks around at the filming of this show, he's still our defensive coordinator. There's some rumblings that there are other jobs he may end up taking. So please, I hope we end up with that guy again because I like what he's shown on the defensive end. But the defense did recover, get us to able to adjust and keep the ground game in check enough to let Miami actually take the lead in this game. Rutgers, Jakari Brown did have a bad interception early in the game, but again, that's what you go back to the previous episode. I've been clamoring for this guy to get on the field, so we didn't make those types of mistakes in this a game. Rather, he makes and irons out some of that stuff in the past, because you can tell he was just not set with his feet and made an errant throw because he did not see the D end dropping back into coverage underneath of that stop route. But mistakes are going to happen. Our quarterback that played all year made millions and millions of mistakes, so he did recover. He got a touchdown on the ground, a nice play design to get him on the outside of the edge, something we've been wanting to see all season long. And boy, who knows what the results have been had he been able to progress through the season rather than show what he's been doing, holding a clipboard all season long. But a great play design. He got in the end zone with his feet. Something I think is very key for him in his future if he is our guy. That he will be a threat in that way. He's a big physical kid. Several plays he maybe only got 2 or 3 yards, but that wears on a defense when you have a big quarterback taking it to the defense a little bit. That wears them down. They were coming pretty hard off the edges, and we had some trouble protecting right away. But then, and you could see at the later stages of the game, they weren't coming as fast. So again, that has an effect. It's not just sit there and the guy can't get a pass to drop, but what he can do is be a hammer and start wearing down and helping your team out in that regard. So he did have a beautiful, I would say he had 2 touchdown passes, if you say my humble opinion, because at the end of the first half, he did drop a beautiful outside line corner pass there to Restrepo. I thought you can see there's some still frames that he looks like he may have had possession and got his touchdown with a touchdown was the initial call. But then they went ahead and reviewed it and reversed that call. So we ended up with a field goal rather than a touchdown. But I thought the film was good. Whatever may have you the result of the whole game, and you like to see what's going on the actual progressions of these players. So that was great. Coming in the second half, he gets the ball and throws a beautiful counted touchdown to Strepo, able to get 2 feet down, NFL style, baby. And then, was really able to show his progression as a passer. Something he's been maligned for, that's obviously kept him off the field in the games that we've needed to go past our starter. So I love that this guy was able to put that, and then he has at the filming of the show given his affirmation that he will at least go into spring with Miami Hurricanes in his future, and I love that. I love the potential of him continuing to develop and be the guy, because again, he has 3 years to play. If let's speculate here, if he were to get given the rock and be the starting quarterback, I don't expect a 10-win season with him at the helm. I think you're going to take a few understandable losses as a young guy still getting potentially a lot of experience. You will maybe not win every game, but you will absolutely be ready his junior, and then in this case, if he sticks around that long, redshirt senior year, and then you will be a force to be reckoned with if you will give this guy the chance that I think he deserves and has, in my opinion, earned. Because if you go back to the games that he had to play last year, if they would have moved the heck Jake Garcia out of his way, he would have been the guy to play more and more in those backup roles when we were needed. And then this year, if they would have gone to him rather than Emory Williams, because I don't have anything against Emory Williams, beating Clemson, being competitive against Florida State were great. Playing in those games he was asked to come in and mop up duty was fine, but I don't know that you have the ability of that Jakari Brown, number 11, has, is that you're a threat if you can tailor the offense around a guy that has that dual threat capability. You're much more dangerous as an offense. And I didn't love Dawson's play calling, the 4th down call at the very end of the game. Miami did recover. They did get a touchdown to make this game with the onside recovery they were able to get, potentially to tie the game. But I hated that 4th down call. And then the last play of the game that ended up being the last play for Miami's offense. Why are you not asking a guy that's clearly shown earlier in the game he can throw 50 yards? Why are you not giving the ball and getting a prayer up at least? It's the last play. I mean, what the heck do you have to lose? So again, Shannon Dawson's play calling is confounded me all season long. Is that Shannon Dawson? Is that Mario Cristobal? Well, it's a problem. Whoever is responsible, because it's just not good enough. And again, if you'd gone to number 11 a lot earlier, had you gone ahead and worked out some of these kinks, would you have been much more creative at this stage and ready to really go into 2024 strong? But overall, there were some younger players that got to play in the game. It's hard to sit here and talk a lot about them because I didn't love all the film that was on display. Ruben Hurricane Bain was a bright spot. It has been all season. ACC Defensive Rookie of the Year. So let's give 44 his due diligence. I love what Hurricane Bain brings to the potential of his remaining Miami career. Um, an effort player. He can go inside at 3 tech or he's out on the D end. He's wherever he lines up, he's disruptive. Love that we have that guy. I liked Markeith Williams getting on the field, number 15. He was getting some burn at safety there. I hated what they did with the defensive back end, taking our smallest two corners and then putting them at safety. It was evident that that was a big problem trying to get their running back down to the ground, or any of the guys that had the ball in their hands for Rutgers getting them down on the ground. Our physicality just wasn't there. Maui Noah still played a heck of a game. I liked mostly everything I saw at 51. Um, so we do have some things to build on going into next season from that side of the ball. But there was, just numbers were with attrition, guys hitting the portal, deciding they were going to move on, and then starters going on and going ahead and hitting the NFL draft. So it was a tough game. Rutgers did go ahead and beat the Miami Hurricanes by 7, where I did predict that. I did not get the score correctly, but I did think that Rutgers would win, and that was evident. Giano had his team ready. Mario Cristobal was not ready, and that's exactly what I called. The biggest turn in the game was obviously the punt block for touchdown that Miami had the lead at that stage at 17 to 10. 17 to 13 or whatever, or 14, and then goes ahead and gets a punt block to go down 17 to 21. We did not ever have a lead after that. So that wasn't the only. They almost got a couple punt blocks. So their special teams guy took the week, was on vacation, decided to call the season in early because he was not, whoever that was not doing their end. That they did not earn their paycheck based on what that and ended up really turning them on the run of the game to Rutgers' favor. So close the book on 2023. What do we have to look forward to in 2024? We will get into that, much later in other episodes. But something I do want to talk about, because I waited to film this show until after the ESPN Under Armour All-America game. There was 4 Miami Hurricanes potential, incoming freshmen that might have hopefully early success in their Miami careers. I think these games are really important because, one, it shows you if guys flash in these games. You go back in the history of these games. The Army All-America game is going to be played later. I will get into that next episode. But the 2 big games are done with, you take more or less the top 100, 300 people, high school all-stars, and you put them all in one place and get them practicing together. Excuse me. And then putting a game together. You go back and you watch that the guys that have early success in these games end up having early success in their college careers or long sustained success in the end of their career, and then go and take that into the pro game. So you love when guys stand out. So Miami's Booker Pickett Jr. from the Tampa area at the end had a great game. He was coming off the edge, very disruptive, was credited with 2 sacks. Love to see that. And then you had Ryan Mack, the defensive back, because he played corner and he slid back down to safety. I watched him sit in free safety position for several drives, and I love that. Love versatility. One, he played really good at cornerback. He was matched up against, ESPN's number 1 receiver, the kid that's going to Auburn, nice tall receiver. Played him physical, got on and got in his way, batted down a couple passes. Looked, made a couple tackles. Looked like he's going to be a physical presence. love what I saw at Ryan Mack. Then JoJo Trader, I believe, caught the first pass of the game for Team Ice, the white team. There was 3 of the Future Canes on that side, and then Team Fire, the black team. Adarius Hayes, the linebacker, flipped from 4 to late, was on the black team. I love what Adarius is. To go, not to bop back and forth. Go back to JoJo Trader. I love JoJo Trader's one that he was receiving. He was he had his high school quarterback on the team with him. Maybe I would love to see him get a lot more chances, because you'd think some of that chemistry he brought from the previous year playing together would have resulted in some more good film on his receiving end. But he did go ahead and play cornerback for several snaps, and then ultimately did get an interception to end the half. What I liked about what his potential is I think Travis Hunter has shown that at this stage and this level of college football, it is possible to be able to go both ways. I'm not calling him Travis Hunter. I'm just telling you my opinion that a guy that has offensive and defensive skill sets, that's huge, could play one way or the other. But as a defensive back, I like the potential because I think size-wise, he fits very good in the prototype size for defensive back, cornerback specifically. What I love is he showed that, the ability to stay in off coverage and see that ball get thrown up and go back and track it and get that ball in the end zone to end the half for this Under Armour game. I just love that potential. I thought he also played really good when you looked at he's got quick feet, good back pedal. If he will, have that physicality enough to make tackles, that he has a lot of potential. You like to have a guy like him get on the field early, whether it's as a cornerback, hell, I'll take him. And then if he shows that real natural skill set as he does, and I've read a lot of things that he's quick, has great hands, can catch a lot of balls outside of his frame as a receiver. So I'd love to see him play, just play. Both sides of the ball, beautiful. Get on the field, get your name out there, buddy. Love that potential. And then Darius Hayes, the guy that was on the other side from his future teammates, the linebacker for the Team Fire. Team Fire had a tough game. They had a couple pick sixes. The score was basically out of reach right after the first quarter, but still a lot of talent on that roster. Let's not get it twisted. Darius Hayes, I didn't sit here and say I saw a lot that flashed, other than his size. He's all of 6'3", nice build already to be an incoming potential player. A guy that I say looks perfect to sit behind Kiko Malinois, as Malinois has put his commitment in to be Hurricane one more year. Beautiful. Guy that size, maybe even a little taller than Maui Noah, but about nice thick build, about his same build. If he can look at what Maui Noah does well, he flies to the ball, an absolute missile on defense. If he can play in reserve, probably I would say if he gets on the field and plays as a freshman, he will be a reserve, and then learn from a great player in front of him, because I think Maui Noah's got a great pro career potential after he is one more season a Miami Hurricane. So again, to go back, that's what I really like about these watching these games, that there's, these guys get rated for whatever reason, but when they're all put together on the same field, guys flash a lot differently. And the maybe 100th player turns out to maybe he's the best player in the league, rather than the guy that they have, because a lot of times in high school, these kids are just way ahead of their competition. So it's hard to gauge, is the film you're watching, is that legitimate, or is it just because of the level of competition that they're facing? That's why South Florida is a hotbed for recruiting. The guys that play in that area of the country are always generally playing against really other good guys. So that's why, you like to keep, for Miami Hurricanes, you like to keep kids and these powerhouse programs in South Florida home, they call it, to continue their careers, is that they're oftentimes maybe not the 4 or 5 star recruit, maybe they're a 3 star, but are they playing and developing early on in their career against the good level of talent? Well, when you get on these stages, and the guys that flash put on good film, if you say go with history, most oftentimes that leads to good things coming up in the very near future, not terribly distant future. This usually happens to help them really take momentum into the beginning of their college careers. So good on them. This next episode will feature some more of the conversation of the Army All-America game, because that game is going to be played a couple days from today again, and there's 5 guys to look forward to. Justin Scott, big defensive tackle, one of the top 10 players rated in the league. You hear early words that he's showing why he's one of those or highly rated. Marquise Lightfoot, both of those guys from the Chicago area, coming all the way down to South Florida. They will be in this game. Then you have Zaquan Patterson, JoJo Trader's teammate. A great piece to add to this Miami Hurricane roster. A very versatile, physical safety. Maybe not tall, but I think he's got good build. And if he can take what he was showing at high school level and put it on the Miami Hurricanes roster, he's got great potential. Plays in the box, can play back, very physical, gifted safety. So I'd love to see if he can put on some good film. You got Nye Carr, the maybe say smaller of the three receivers Miami's pulling in. But everything you hear is that he's got great speed. Will he be able to make some big plays in this setting? Gotta love if that happens. And then I do believe Derek Plaz, our offensive tackle signee, is going to also play in that game. So we will talk about those guys in the next episode, but also to get into it because we're going to start bringing more content out for the Miami Hurricanes basketball team. They have a big win last night against Clemson. I have yet to be able to watch that game film, but I did finally go ahead and sit down and watch Miami's North Florida contest where to get a feel for this team. You know, Coach Larnaga's done an amazing job developing this basketball team, and I think big things are going to continue to happen for them later on in the year. And then as they showed last year, getting to the Final Four, able to make waves in that big dance. So more content on the basketball team to kind of fill the next several weeks of episodes, and then to follow that even farther down the road will be the baseball team. But yeah, man, we had a great things that happened as Miami Hurricane fans. Not always in every result, but hey, you got to take the positives where they are had. And then again, thank you so much to those of you that are sticking through to the end of the episode. And please help spread the word. As I said, so grateful for the trajectory of the show and more people coming in to help have some fun with us. So it's always great to be a Miami Hurricane. We'll see you next week, guys. Have a great week out there. Happy New Year.